Now here he is in robot mode. Now, part of the problem with this guy is during the transformation. Not only is it extremely fiddly, and you have pieces bashing off pieces, notably these doors down here, always want to get in the way. But you have to fold these doors, these top doors here, have to fold down like that, pivot down, and then you have to get them push them past this windshield. Unfortunately, the gap between the two doors is not as wide as the windshield is, so you have to sort of push the windshield past the door by sort of bending these down and around it, which is not how they're supposed to go, and they look like they feel like they're going to break every time. It's pure engineering. It's like the arms on movie Blackout. Yeah. Anyway, in robot mode, he does look good. Now, you can't fault the figure for not looking good, even if he does have this big giant lump of kibble on his back. At least it's broken up and segmented, so it looks like just a normal backpack. Now, articulation-wise, his head will look up like that far. It will do the full 360. His arms will bend out there. They bend at the elbows. They're actually double jointed, so they can go like that. His fingers are articulated, so not quite giving the birdie, but his trigger finger is articulated separate to his other three, and they are actually segmented into each little joint, which is a nice touch. And you can't fault the detailing on this guy. He does have quite a bit of detailing, such as down here, and on his legs he's got his pistons and some grates. So he does have nice detailing. Gotta give him that. His arms would do the full 360, but they get caught on this door, and unfortunately you can't fold them back any further than this because they bash onto his backpack, so you can't give him a sleeker look. Although, to be fair, with a belly like that, he's not going to be getting a sleeker look anytime soon. His legs can do the splits. Ooh. He can rotate up that far, he can rotate forwards like that, bend at the knees, and twizzle the full 360 provided the other leg doesn't get in the way of this door. His feet are on ball joints so they can do the full 360, and he's got little pistons on his feet as well, which is a nice touch. And his gun is his little engine gun, which in robot vehicle mode clips onto the back of his head, and it's a right pain to get out. Also, these little bits here are supposed to clamp his chest into his back, but they always pop out. It's not that good. But his gun has little pegs on the handle, which is supposed to go into a little hole in his hand so he can hold his gun. But it doesn't hold it very securely. It's a bit limp. See? But generally he holds it alright, just don't expect him to shoot straight. Oh, and he can also do that with his wrist. He doesn't have any waist articulation, and also his seat that I took out before should go in there, but they are always being knocked out by this thing, so just forget it. Take him out, it's easier. And also, because he's Blaster, you can open his chest, and he is a Decepticon cassette because I don't have any Autobot ones. You can put them like that and pretend he's ejecting out his little posse. They don't fit fully in, as you can see, but, well. And finally, here's Luminara with her other bits. You can raise her notepad and a video camera. That's all her extra posability. She's meant to be a news reporter, and this guy's supposed to be a news van. Now, my major problem with this guy is the amount of die casting and his design makes him extremely top heavy. And while that's good that he's got some weight and he's die cast, his feet have these open ball joints gaps at the back, and they are only very small, which means if you try to stand him up, he will fall either forwards or backwards, and most often he will fall backwards and cause problems. Unless you lean him on something, rest him on something back there. I forgot to mention, he can't even sit down because his windshield, his windows get in the way. I mean, he can't stand up, so you think you could at least sit him down, but no! And getting him back into vehicle mode is even worse, because not only do you have to do all that fiddling around and trying to get these seats stuck back in place, but the pieces of his roof and car don't even want to line up, ever. Takes you years to get them lined up. So in short, he looks nice in both modes, but his transformation is evil. He doesn't stand up, he doesn't sit down. Just avoid him. Avoid him like the plague!